All right, thanks, guys. Dynamo Dresden takes on Gruther Fürth, and that's going to be a 12:30 p.m. Eastern start time. Fürth is the plus money favorite at plus $1.30, totals 2.5 flat. The draw is plus 235, and if you like Dresden in an upset, they're plus 195 for an outright win. Now I'm 8-0 my last 8 extra daily pick tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage, and of course that's a website where I sell really great sports pick subscriptions beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. Now, the extra daily pick is one of those packages that I sell. And along with going 8-0 in my last 8, I'm also 13-3 in my last 16 picks in that category as well. And that's good for 81% over the course of the past 2 weeks in that package. I also have a bunch of different great memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. A lot of variety there. And if you just want to check out the website for free right now, maybe browse a little bit, see what it's all about, link for that site is in the description section below. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, Dresden's won just 7 out of 28 games thus far in the season. They currently rank dead last in total goals scored with just 28 of them. They're also in last place in the 18-team Bundesliga 2 division with just 27 total points. They're 30 points behind the first place team, just for reference, by the way. Dresden, they're taking on a Fürth squad who's lost just 2 out of their last 7 themselves, including a solid 2-0 shutout victory over second-place Stuttgart during that span. They also played third-place Hamburg to a 2-2 draw as well. They're just 4 points behind Hanover for that 6th-place spot in Bundesliga 2. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Fürth's last 3 stayed under the total of 2.5 goals. Matter of fact, 5 out of their last 7 also stayed under that number as well. Meanwhile, on the Dresden side of things, they're averaging just 1 goal per contest thus far on the season themselves. So with all that said and done, give me Fürth winning this one outright for some plus money cash in the under 2.5 in that match. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Tuesday's soccer action. But before we go ahead and dive into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you once again that after Sunday's sports wagering action, I improved to 8-0 my last 8 extra daily pick premium plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. We are red hot in that package right now. You need to know that. And of course, that's a website where I sell really great sports pick subscriptions beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. There's also a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. A lot of great stuff going on. And one of those packages is called the Extra Daily Pick Tier Membership. It's only $2.99 through the end of the month. And in addition to going 8-0 in my last 8, red hot right now, I'm also hitting at 13-3 in my last 16 picks in that same category as well. And that's good for 81% over the past 2 weeks in that membership. I strongly recommend you at least consider using the website for sports picks. They're my personal plays, games that I personally have action on. And once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that said, let's go ahead and dive into our next matchup. And it's going to be in the German Bundesliga 3 division. And I'm talking about Bayern Munich 2 squaring off against Zwickau in a 1 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Bayern Munich's the $2.12 favorite, totals 3.5, juice to the under. The draw is currently plus 333, and if you like Zwickau in an upset, they're plus $5 for some money line cash. Now, Zwickau has been victorious in just 1 out of their last 6 matches, including an embarrassing 3-0 shutout loss to Victoria Cologne during that stretch. Now, Zwickau was also doubled up 4-2 by Uerdingen 05 during that span as well. Zwickau is currently in 16th place in the 20-team Bundesliga 3 division. They've won just 9 out of 30 matches on the season. Bayern Munich, on the other side, hasn't lost a match in their last 5 straight. Good span for them right now, including two shutout victories during that stretch. They lost just 1 out of their last 11 matches with shutout victories over the likes of Uerdingen, Rostock, Unterhaching, and Sonnenhof during that stretch. Now, Bayern Munich leads the league in scoring with 58 total goals on the season. They're currently in third place in Bundesliga 3, just 3 points back of that Duisburg squad for the first place spot. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Munich's last 3 stayed under the total of 3.5 goals. 5 out of their last 6 also stayed under that number. Meanwhile, on the Zwickau side of things, 5 out of their last 8 stayed under that total as well. So with all that said and done, give me Bayern Munich winning this one outright for some pricey money line cash. Might want to include that one in a parlay, and the under 3.5 goals in that spot. All right, next contest I have for you. It's going to be in the same league. I'm talking about Victoria Cologne squaring off against SV Meppen, and that'll be a 1 p.m. Eastern start time. Meppen's the plus money favorite at plus 115. Totals 2.5, juice to the over. The draw's plus 240, and if you like Cologne in the upset, they're plus $2 for some money line cash. Good price point there. And speaking of Cologne, they've won 4 out of their last 6, including a very impressive 3-0 shutout victory over Zwickau during that span. They also shut out Ingolstadt and Sonnenhof during that stretch as well. They've only lost 3 out of their last 11, which includes some non-league competition as well. They are taking on a Meppen squad who was shut out 3-0 in their last outing, really coming off a tough game. They're also currently on a 4-match winless streak, including a 3-1 loss to the Kickers during that span as well. Meppen's been victorious in just 11 out of 30 games thus far in the season. They're currently in the bottom half of the standings, in 11th place with, 11th place in the 20-team division. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Meppen's last 4 got over the total of 2.5 goals. Meanwhile, Cologne on the other side saw their last 4 straight get over that number themselves. 12 out of their last 15 also got over the 2.5, and that includes some non-league action as well. So with all that said and done, give me the underdogs, Victoria Cologne, plus $2, and the over 2.5 in that match. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be in the Portuguese Premier League. I'm talking about FC Gil Vicente taking on Famalicão in a 4 p.m. Eastern start time. Vicente is the plus money favorite at plus $1.55. Totals 2.5 flat. The draw is plus 255, and if you like Famalicão in a slight upset here, they're plus $1.75 for some money line cash. Now, Famalicão lost just 3 out of their last 11 games, and that includes a very impressive 2-1 victory over first place FC Porto in their last outing. They also beat fourth place Sporting 3-1 during that stretch as well. They're 11-7 thus far in the season with 7 draws. They're also just 3 points back of fourth place in the league. They're taking on a Vicente team who's coming fresh off a 1-0 shutout loss to Portimonense in their last match themselves. They've also been victorious in just 2 out of their last 9. They're also in the bottom half of the standings in 10th place, victorious in just 7 out of 25 matches. Now, total-wise, Vicente's last 4 straight all stayed under the total of 2.5 goals. Meanwhile, 3 out of Famalicão's last 6 stayed under that number themselves. So with all that in mind, give me Famalicão plus $1.75 and the under 2.5 in that matchup. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. And from our Patreon platform, shout out to Corbin Snyder, Cardi Kea, Chad Ortiz, Big Al Johnson, Kareem Rutledge, Wesley Upshaw, Harold Andrews, Serge Brook, Santiago Rodrigo, and David Arango. Next, shout-outs from our Instagram platform. I'm talking about shout-outs to Raheem Hayes, Luca Rosano, Ghost Picks ATS, Bubba Jonesy. Shout-out to the Hernstrom Podcast, Will Slade, Eddie Choba, Tara Pot Oven. Shout-out to Rafa Nieves, the MLB agent, who actually has a verified check mark. And, of course, we can't forget about our very infamous friend Joseph Robert, the fantasy football counselor, who is also verified with a blue check mark. All right, finally, from our YouTube platform, shout out to Red Noops, John Harris, Charles Parker, YC Mycap, Angel Reyes Moreno, Bo Dunn, SOP LFD Striker, George Carter, Charles Lopez, and last but certainly not least, gotta give a shout out to my man, Ralph Portuando. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Monday or Tuesday to you, depending on when you're watching this. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/rockpage.